All right, let's move through the AFC East. Got to do it kind of quickly because we got to get you to HQ. The Buffalo Bills add Curtis Samuel and Mac Hollins to help retool the wide receiver group after Gabe Davis leaves. They also lost a ton of guys: Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, Mitch Morse. Brought back Deion Dawkins, DeQuan Jones, and AJ Epinesa. I mean, I think they actually did pretty good after the initial purge of everybody. That was the thing. It's like, oh my God, the Bills are done, and it's like they kind of short things up. I give them a B.
I gave them a B minus. When you talk about some of the contracts they got off of, these were older players, right? And a rule for a lot of GMs is like you rather let a guy leave a year too soon than keep him a year too late, right? So I think that was their mindset. The interesting thing is with the Curtis Samuel signing, I think he's getting like 10 a year, and Mac Hollins, does that kind of let you know maybe that they are willing to move away from Stephon Diggs? Because there is some rumors that could be a thing. So I thought those are interesting signings, right? Because Curtis Samuels, they actually gave him pretty good money. And when you look at Khalil Shakir, you would think that he would take another step in that offense. So, like, why are you willing to pay Curtis Samuel that much money?
It's a lot of number two wide receivers.
Yeah, unless you're comfortable and letting Stephon Diggs potentially walk or get traded.
All right, the Miami Dolphins bring in Kendall Fuller, Jordan Brooks, and Jonnu Smith. They lose Christian Wilkins to cap stuff. They lose Robert Hunt, which is big for the offensive line. They got to cut Xavier Howard for the secondary. I actually thought, all things considered, the guys that they had to lose, they did an okay job. I give them a B minus for it.
Yeah, I gave them a B plus. We know one thing about Stephen Ross. He's going to spend that cash, right? And this was another team that was in cap purgatory. They were in the negative going in to this offseason, and they, like you said, some of the names that they lost, Emmanuel Ogbah, Xavier Howard, let Christian Wilkins walk, let Robert Hunt walk. But I thought they did a really good job of bringing in some good players, like Andrew Brewer at center, because Connor Williams had the knee injury, and supposedly that's still going to be an issue for him going forward. But Jordan Brooks was a big signing, right? You lose Jerome Baker, but you pair him with David Long. I think that's a strong linebacker room. We talk about David Long and also Jordan Brooks. And then Kendall Fuller was a nice signing to pair with Jalen Ramsey after you lose Xavier Howard. So for a team that was quote unquote cap strap, like they signed some really good players in free agency. So I gave him a B plus.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think considering the cap situation, not too bad. Your boys, the Jets, Javon Kinlaw, Tyron Smith, what an ad. Morgan Moses, they short up the tackles. They lose your boy Bryce Huff. You nailed it on him having a big year. And lose Jordan Whitehead as well. Bring back Thomas Morstead and Greg Zuerlein. So nice job on the special teams. Nice job on the offensive line. Not as great on the defensive line, but they're still loaded on defense. Yeah. I think you give Joe Douglas a B plus.
So
A minus.
This is how you know I'm not biased. I gave them a C plus, and again, you got to take it with a caveat, right? Because I think they still need to add a veteran receiver, right? When you look at what they could do and potentially adding like a guy like Tyler Boyd, which maybe they were waiting for this Tyron Smith deal to finish before they did that. But I think Joe Douglas did a heck of a job as far as getting value for guys, right? Like Tyron Smith, it comes down to how healthy he is, right? Nobody thought he would sign a $6.5 million deal coming off an all-pro season, right? Nobody thought that was ever going to happen. Incentive-based, but it's all based on him being healthy and playing. And then I love what they did, signing John Simpson and also bringing Morgan Moses back, getting some more physicality on the offensive line. Javon Kinlaw, well, I think was a decent sign. A lot of people were up in arms because they thought what the deal originally was going to be like $7.5 million, but it's actually a lot lower than that cap-wise. So I thought that was a good signing. But I think there's just holes at the safety position and receiver that I thought that they could have addressed in free agency. And they may still, right? That's the thing about Joe Douglas. He's calculated and not overspending for guys. So, like, again, Tyler Boyd and guys like that are still out there, could potentially still sign somebody like that.
I also think, too, with the Jets, it's like a little bit optics where it's like, you have to fix the offensive line. And you can't just bank on doing it in the draft. And so, like, going into the draft knowing, okay, we can take a wide receiver or a tackle, whichever one's the best for us, it falls to us. It's not a bad look. Like, Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses, nice ads if they work out and can stay healthy. The Patriots,
lose
Mac Jones. Trade Mac Jones to Jacksonville. I forgot to mention him in the Jacksonville stuff. You lose Devontae Parker. You re-sign Kendrick Bourne. You transition tag, Kyle Duggar. And then you bring in Austin Hooper, Jacoby Brissett, and Sione Takitaki. Nothing really blowing my skirt up here, dudes. I mean, this is like
Robert Kraft isn't spending none of that money they got. They got a lot of money in open cap, and he ain't spending none of it.
Well, this is sort of why you mentioned off the top. It's like I wouldn't be that surprised at all if they didn't take a quarterback at 3. Like
That's
this
what
looks
I'm
like a
saying.
team
He's
this
not
looks
set
like a
up
team
for
that says we're
success
not
at
going to be
all.
good. We're not going to be good next year, and we sort of know it.
Yeah, and when you look at it, I give them an A+ for signing Michael Winu back. He was one of the top free agents in free agency this year, a guy that has flexibility and versatility that can play at guard and tackle. Talking to Trent Brown, he said he thinks he can even play center. He thinks he has that type of smarts about him. But like you said, right, they signed Jacoby Brissett, which I love, but they didn't spend any of the money. I think they had like the third most cap room, and they didn't spend any of it this offseason, right? They signed Kendrick Bourne back, which I like as well. They gave Kyle Duggar transition tag, which a lot of people were surprised about. I wasn't, because I think Kyle Duggar's a hell of a player, right? And then you can let a team do your bidding for you, but nobody actually put in an offer for him. So you keep him under that transition tag instead of the whole franchise tag number. So I gave them a D+ just because they really haven't done much this offseason. And to your point, it'll be interesting to see what they do at pick 3 because they haven't really done much this offseason. So if you do take a quarterback, is he really set up to have that much success in New England?
Yeah, I think it would be crazy to suggest that the Patriots look like they're in a good spot heading into 2024. But that's okay. You know, let's see what they do. Let's see what they do at number 3 in the draft.
Yeah,
and let's see how the Patriots are a mystery. We just don't know what this coaching staff is going to look like, how they're going to be. You know, you can be high on Gerard Mayo all you want. It's just hard to know what New England's going to be in the immediate future. And quite frankly, the roster was not in good shape when Belichick left. It's going to take some time for it to get to a spot where it is in good shape, and they got some work to do.